Hey everybody, welcome to the next version, the next episode of Excel TV. I want to say we're in episode 51, 52. We're in the fifth season right now. Right now, what we're doing is we're talking to Oz du Soleil about his presentation at the Global Excel Summit 2021. It's a virtual one. I'm coming to you from Jacksonville, Florida right now. Hey Sylvia, where are you coming from?
Hey, Rick, coming from the home office here in sunny Los Angeles, California, where it is a chilly
How
60
about
degrees or thereabouts. Hi,
home
excellent.
offices are good. How about you, Oz? I think you're a little bit further up north.
That's right. I'm here in Portland, Oregon. That's right.
Well, this episode, season 5, is brought to you by the number lookup. Is brought to you by whatever's in this mystical cup and 43 for some reason. Hey, Oz,
Yep.
tell me about your presentation. Tell me about your presentation. It's coming up at the Global Excel Summit. What you got going on there?
Well, the title of it is Risk Taking as a Content Creator. And I'm going to my starting point is there's lots of advice for people who do YouTube or even blogs where they say, do keyword researches and please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell. They look at the time, how long a video should be. And I feel like that gets away from any kind of conversation about making good content and taking risks. So there is a couple of kinds of risks. There is my video is going to be however the hell long it is in the end. And I don't like saying subscribe to my channel, hit that bell. And I'm fine with that. So there's that. And then there's the others about letting loose and having fun, trying new things. Um, Excel Hash went live this morning. And in my solution, I pulled out a sword. Yeah. So thinking of scenarios or stories that I can put together that then put Excel in the center. Um, I draw from my improv where there is just throw yourself in. Don't resist or don't half be in something while also apologizing. Well, I know this is kind of stupid, but I'm doing this, but I'm not all the way doing it so that you don't think I'm stupid. No, just
Right.
go all the way in. Have fun. Uh, I want to talk about figuring out what you're about, what your mission is. Because for some people, their mission is keyword searches, growing a channel huge, 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 real fast. Um, but I am happy with the success that I've had. Like when LinkedIn called me about doing courses, my channel was 750 subscribers, not
Wow.
10,000 or a half million, but 750 because I had decided I'm going to do what's sustainable for me. And it was hard because I did pay a guy $500 to help coach me on growing my channel. And he showed me a whole bunch of stuff that I thought was yucky. Yeah, like this, starting to make a video based on keyword searches because my
Right.
my mission is to help people get more from their data. My mission is accuracy. And when I go out and teach people, go to a company and see what's wrong with their data and their spreadsheets, I don't see you need a conditional formatting video. No.
You know that you need that 17th V lookup video.
Right, right. I see your layout is screwed up,
Right.
or you know how to do a pivot table when the data's clean. But now we got to talk about that. We got to talk about when there's inconsistencies in the data. Um, so on my channel, it's hard when I come up with a solution that I think will be interesting for people. It's hard to wrap keywords around it because it's not obvious, like how to make a drop down list. No,
Right.
I'm talking about something else. How do you say we've got 20 columns over here and I want to use dynamic arrays to filter, but also just bring over these 4 columns? I don't know. There's no clean way of describing that, but that's the kind of thing I love to show because that's the kind of thing that people have real problems with. And
Right.
so the risk I take is I'm gonna do this video and I'm gonna describe it as best I can and put the hashtags and whatever else as best I can and accept that my channel is not gonna grow as fast. And I don't want to romanticize that either because I don't want to be, I'm doing me. No, because if I could have a 500,000 followers, shit, yeah, I'd take it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody love that. Sure.
yeah, yeah. If I could have both, I'd take it. But I just think about my mission and the DMs that I get about man, your humor, your clarity, they helped me so much. I was scared of Excel or I hated Excel, but your approach to teaching keeps me engaged. Yes, yes, that's why I do this.
So I'm going to ask one more question. I'm going to push it over to Sylvia
Hmm.
afterwards. So whenever we first started Excel TV, I want to say 6 or 7 years or so ago, however long that was. I don't think that you necessarily had as much of the YouTube presence that you have now.
Hmm.
How have you changed your perspective? How have you changed your audience or your approach to video between now and then?
One
Because
thing,
just
go.
look at it. It seems like you've found yourself, and it seems
Well,
like you've found your greatness, for lack of a better word.
wow. One thing is I gave myself permission to admit that I hated running a blog. I miss writing, but I hated dealing with the back end of WordPress every goddamn time.
Right.
I just want, like, when I open up Camtasia and make a video, I don't have to worry about fixing the code in Camtasia or, some 20 plugins and now one of them's gone weird. No, I can make the goddamn video.
Right.
Um, and it's been a different type of an experience. It's given me a different kind of freedom where I did like to play with images in my writing and play with words and play with the layout and everything. But then with video, I could do all kind of other stuff.
That was dramatic. There's no chance that wasn't dramatic.
No,
So,
see, right. And then you
And the sword.
oh, really?
And scene.
see, right. So
I feel you.
have fun with it, and the moods. I can play with the moods if I'm sitting here running crazy trying to figure out some solution, and then finally it opens up. I can do the video of like, that felt so good. Didn't that feel good, y'all?
And I felt it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind revisiting the keyword topic though,
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
because as someone who does all these videos like yourself, I'm curious what you've learned about the keyword thing, because what I'd like to know is how many people out there are really searching for when they search for something, are they going to search for X lookup, or are they going to search for how to sort my table of, it's again, going back to context, what I
Right.
find is none of my, and I work with my clients every day building customized Excel solutions, and then I do customized training based on those tools that I develop. Not one of them has ever been remotely interested in what the formulas are at, what formulas I'm actually using. They might know VLOOKUP, and then that's the end of the, and then that's the end of the story. So they're not out there Googling, X lookup or table joins. They're Googling, they're trying to describe the business problem that they're having.
Right.
This is all just conceptual. So I'm wondering, do you find that when you do look at the data as far as like what people are searching for when they stumble on your videos?
Okay, so there's such a big thing, and part of me wants to be careful about how I answer this.
Sure.
Okay. Um, I have given up on that.
Okay.
I don't look at my stats much, and um, some folks may curse me for that, but I got tired of chasing that, looking, and I feel like, with keywords, so there's, you got to look at different audiences. There's the audience that does know I'm looking for VLOOKUP, X lookup. And then there's the audience who's trying to describe what they're after. And in my experience, when I was looking for something, and when I started looking for it, then I realized that there is a formal name called cascading drop-down lists or dependent drop-down lists. But I had to start with this murky description of it. Okay, and it led me there. So you're right that there are some people who have the language and others who don't. And then keyword searches tend to focus on the people who have the language already. Conditional formatting. How do I conditional format this cell based on another cell? Okay. But I like focusing on real things that I've seen out in the wild.
Yeah, I get that. And I'm wondering, you are already at a point in your Excel celebritaness that you perhaps don't need to worry as much about keywords as, say, someone who might, I'm not talking
No,
about someone who might be, one of the many who are just trying to promote
no,
their channel. No,
I don't know. It's mission driven. It's the
right.
mission. I have thought about my YouTube channel as more something to leverage into other things. It's more a portfolio. It's something that shows, oh, Oz posted a video 3 days ago. He's still around versus like 9 months ago. So that's how I think about my YouTube channel. Some people use it to, right, their sizzle reel is there on YouTube. It's a free place to put their sizzle reel. They aren't looking to try to grow a channel. So it's mission driven. And yeah, if somebody is trying to get 10,000 subscribers in 6 months, then yeah, they're gonna have to look at keywords and do all that other stuff and post maybe several times a week. They're gonna have to limit how much editing they do so that they can crank out more videos. They gotta pay attention to changes in the algorithm. Whereas I just feel like I want to serve people who hate Excel or are intimidated by Excel, or they want to know how to function in the real world.
Right. I hear
You know,
you.
it's strange. I had a conversation with Randy Austin, who runs freelancers for Excel pretty recently, and he was pretty much the same way. He said, he grew to over 100,000 people on YouTube pretty darn quickly, more than Excel TV, and we're Excel TV. We should probably grow more than that. But he grew just by, he just once a week religiously,
Mhm.
once a week, every Friday. He planned it out on Saturday. He recorded it Saturday.
Mhm.
He said, I have a cadence, and I got to do that every week because
Yeah.
that's my thing,
Yeah.
right? That's my core product, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
And he said, I just open it up and I think about, okay, as a freelancer, as a person who's out there just having problems with Excel, what would I want to solve today?
Mhm.
Would I want to create a better invoice? Would I, yeah, or a better whatever? What would freelancers want to do? And that sounds a bit like what you're doing. You're just
Mhm.
opening up Excel and you're saying, listen, there are problems that people have, and I'm not going to do the next VLOOKUP video. People have issues, and here's what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Real problems. Is that kind of your
Yep.
secret to success as well?
Yep. Yep. I will showcase new things, and I take pleasure in showing what I hate about a new feature, what I like about it, what you got to watch out for. I did a video on the ideas feature. I don't like it. Yeah, so it's more than just, hey, this new thing is in Excel. Go check it out. Look how beautiful it is. Well, Uncle Oz is going to tell you, look, don't get too excited right now.
Well, thank you for that. Would you mind chatting a little bit more about the Global Excel Summit that you're going
Hmm.
to be a feature on over the
Yeah.
weekend,
Yeah.
just coming up in a few days? Uh, what you like about it, and what you're talking about.
I like this idea. Um, I was supposed to, we were all supposed to have been there in London last year. Um, and the exciting thing about it was so many topics that aren't about more Excel tips and tricks. You got people talking about what it is to be a consultant, a freelancer. What is it to come up with an online course? How do you market an online course? Lots of cool topics um, that I think need to be talked about more, because the tips and tricks aren't the start and finish of this. So you got people who do want to create content. They want to run a blog or start up a YouTube channel. And I would like to be the one that says, look, if you hate running a blog, give yourself permission to not do it, because then you half-ass do it, things get all screwed up. Um, you want to start a YouTube channel. Okay. One common thing is, well, just start. And what's in there is um, you might find out some things that you don't like about it. And that's okay. But don't wait until you figure you got 20 ideas and they're all mapped out nice and clean. And then you get started and find out this sucks. So I'm glad to be talking about this. I'm glad for all of these other topics that are part of the Excel world, but are overshadowed by tips and tricks.
One of my favorite stories, and I tell people this quite a bit, about Excel TV, as is that we started it within 2 weeks of talking about it,
Yep, I remember.
and and it was scary. It was horrible. It wasn't great. I remember I see this first few videos and it's cringeworthy for me. Here's why.
Okay,
So I'm yelling into the microphone because I don't know any better, that
okay,
sort of thing. But
okay.
There got a point where it's just like, you know what, we're going to do it. We're going to do it every 2 weeks. I hope you guys show up, but it comes a point where you just say, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to figure it out. And you just take that leap.
Yeah. Yeah. You take that leap. And I remember you saying, we don't know what we're doing, so let's just dive in. And that is so valuable, right? Because I think that was like a April-ish. And then I'm starting to think of, should we like put out a survey and see what people like and everything? And we might finally start hitting the record button in August. Well, you said we don't know what we're doing right now, so let's just dive in.
Let's just do it.
Yeah. And when I looked at some YouTubers or other content creators that I like, when I look at their early stuff, it's awful. But they
Yeah.
got it out of the way. They aren't making it now.
Yeah. Yeah. They just cleared it out.
Yeah. And but then we don't know. We don't know at the time. Because I will look at some of my early videos and I can remember thinking, hot damn, this is some stuff here, boy. But I look back at it now and it's like, "Rrr, rrr."
Right.
I could have
Right.
tightened that up or left something out. I
My
could have
cadence
taken
was all wrong.
right, something, but give ourselves permission to get started and improve. We get better. And something else that I'm just reminded of is when I was at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, and there's a room that only staff and students can go in, and we can see the sketches of the greats. See where they erased lines and put a line here, and it was a sketch that wound up being something that's on the wall in the actual museum. And say they were fucking stuff up in the beginning too. I'm testing out, trying to figure things out and deciding, nah, this isn't the one, and move on. It's all part of the creative process. And having seen that was even more permission. I've got to play and explore and be okay throwing stuff in the garbage or thinking something's great today and then come back 5 years later and say, what was I thinking?
It's a
So do you
great
think?
life lesson across the board.
Yes.
When I developed my Excel cocktail collection, for example, I gave myself permission to try them all the night before the book was published.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Mm-hmm.
It was, some might say it was a mistake because there's 12 of them. But no, that was definitely something that wasn't done before. And, a lot of people look at me like a deer in headlights.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell them about the Excel cocktail collection. But when you get it, you get it. And I think it involves having some, just trusting your gut. And I totally feel you on that one, Oz.
Yeah. Yeah. Trusting your gut, taking a risk, being okay if it doesn't work out.
Right.
And something else with whether it's writing a blog or doing YouTube, there's always the next blog post or the next video.
Right.
I had I guess one of my favorite sayings, of course, I didn't originate this. I don't originate anything, but one of the things I love is the phrase, "To get the get, you got to do the do."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you hustle, that's how you get the get.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get it, because you're gonna actually do the action, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds like you got to go through it. You got to figure it out, just like we did when we started Excel TV. As you're figuring out what your brand is personally.
Yes, that is key. Yes. My blog, as much as I did get to a place where I hated it, I do appreciate it because it helped me develop a brand. And what I gave a damn about. That was the early parts of me going away from just straight tips and tricks. My very first blog posts were just, yeah, just functions and formulas. But then it turns into like interviewing, um, cleansing data, talking about Excel as a prototyping tool. Those were fun to write about. They meant something to me. And when I had to sit down and write and fight with WordPress, that made it worth it. Another conditional formatting blog post, hell no.
Speaking of another conditional formatting post, as a joke, Sylvia, would you mind taking us to the tip section?
Not at all. So my tip is a little sneak preview of an article that should be published soon, as soon as the editors have decided that it's good enough for press. And what I'm about to show you is the end product that is featured in said article. So we'll find a way to make sure the Excel TV Nation knows about that when that goes live. But I will just, to give you a bit of background, this is a table that allows an HR professional to create automated bonus notification emails that they can send to select employees. And in the development of said article, I was contemplating showing how to solve this problem with PowerFlow. Was it PowerFlow? Power Automate used to be called Microsoft Flow, right? And also the good old standby VBA. So the article does get into some pros and cons. I won't get into those just yet, but I will tell you the upshot is that I went with good old trusty VBA, even though I thought Flow was really cool when I tried it out, but there's certain things you can't do with it. So let me show you what will be available to the world. Let's see, can we see my screen? What am I?
Yep.
Okay, so here's just a very simple table. It's a combination of just some simple hard-coded inputs like name, and then a few of these have formulas. I won't get into them, but extracting the first name. The email is just an input. Salary, bonus percentages are just inputs. Simple little bonus calculation. So you get the idea. Now the part where the email gets tied in is we have a few with these two columns, email subject and body, right? Just what they sound like. So we use formulas to generate an email subject, which is pretty simple in this case. If the person is getting a bonus, subject line, congratulations. If they don't get a bonus, a note from your manager to keep it nice and mysterious, right? And a similar concept with the email body. It gets a little more complicated. So again, I won't get into it, but once the article's live, you'll be able to download it for free. So I've created an email body and an email subject, just using pretty basic concatenation techniques. There's a few little tricks with the text function and a series of things to create just kind of boilerplate email messages based on whether this person receives a bonus or not. Now, there's two ways that this can get turned into a series of automated emails. One way is to use Excel's built-in hyperlink function, and the article again gets into how to actually generate this. There's certain boilerplate components to it, but basically a single send button, if I wanted, let's say, just send it to this one individual employee, when I click send, that little hyperlink function automatically creates an email, puts it in my draft folder, and as you can see, the email address goes in the to field as it's supposed to, the subject line, congratulations, and the body. Hello, your year-end bonus is blah, 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 right? So that's if I just want to send to one employee. So now let's say I want to send it to more than one employee. I could send it to everyone in the table. This little guy has a macro attached to it. And of course, we are this little out of scope for this episode of Excel TV, but there's some code behind here, which when clicked will generate the draft emails to multiple employees. So I can either, if I wanted to select all of them, I could select all of them. But let's say I just want to send it to Sterling Cooper and Don Scraper. So I can select any field within the table. And then to select a non-contiguous range, we just do Control-click. So selecting those two guys, click, and as you can see, it's going to create, oops, my other one. There it is. So losing a little screen time there, a little bit of, here's the other one. It's just, okay, there it is. Sorry, my screen's going a little crazy here. So there's the two emails. And at this point, I can further edit these in my drafts folder, but that's where we also have an option to adjust the macro so that it'll automatically send, or you can save it to drafts if you want to kind of customize further. So that's basically what is coming when this article gets published. And we'll find a way to get out there to the Excel TV Nation. So that's my tip.
All right.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Sylvia.
Wow. It's all right.
All right.
So Oz, I'm gonna push out the news to you. Do you have anything to share about things you're doing?
Well,
things in the community, things you want to share?
Today, Excel Hash 2021 went live. 17 Excel Who's Who took on 4 ingredients and made solutions, and they were great. I'm so moved that so many people said yes to this premise of let's take some random Excel ingredients and make an integrated solution. And we had Abiola David in Nigeria, Paula Guilfoyle in Ireland, Jordan submitted something, Cristiano in Brazil, Wynn Hopkins. It was beautiful. AJ Anand, Faraz Sheikh. And there were so many different things. Like David Benaim, he created a murder mystery. So he told a story with the ingredients. Wynn Hopkins and John Akampura did 2 different types of seating assignment charts. It was beautiful. So many of them showed a different type of creativity than you might see from what they normally do. That was really exciting to see. And every video had something, some gold in it, even if like 99% of it was like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. But then there'd be something. Like John Michaludis did something interesting with customizing slicers. Wow. So yeah, the videos are out. Is you look up the hashtag Excel hash 2021 on LinkedIn or YouTube. Felt good. John McDougall, he did some Power App application. That was good to expose people to.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely want to see more of that. It's cool stuff.
But so we'll link to that below, of course.
Yeah.
Anything else, Oz?
Other than the presentation on Saturday, I've got a bunch of courses on LinkedIn. I just had a VBA course come out on LinkedIn. That was something. I'm really proud of this. I'm excited about what it is. When I was approached about doing a VBA course, I was like, I could do it, but I don't really like VBA. But when it was clarified as like a pre-introduction to VBA, like a half-hour course about what is it, what's possible, Where does it live? What are some of the traps? How do I decide whether I will find this useful or not? And I thought about the time I went over to my friend Brent's place Sunday afternoon. I had asked him if he could show me VBA, and he was like, yeah, I could show you. So I went over that Sunday afternoon, and I could tell he was still leery about what I was wanting from him, because he was like, I can't teach you Excel in a half hour, VBA. But when he showed me the editor, that helped. When he showed me about how this column of stuff gets moved over here and is pasted as values, oh, that's what you could do with VBA. I didn't know that. So that's what this half-hour VBA course is about, is for the person who wants to know what the hell is this and how might it be useful. It doesn't get into loops.
The crazy stuff.
No, well, it's not about teaching VBA. It's a very friendly introduction to this is what it can do.
It's yeah, whenever a training client asks me for a VBA class, I'm always like, I always just say, are you sure you want that? Because in order to actually use it, you really need to commit a significant amount of
Right,
time to
right,
learn.
right.
It's learning a language. It's like, can I teach
Yes,
you to speak Italian in a day? No, I don't even speak Italian, but you know what I'm saying. It's
yeah,
just not in a day, or certainly in a half hour. There's not a whole lot you can do beyond just kind of introduce it.
right, right.
So,
And you know, the LinkedIn library, it has VBA courses on it, you
mhm,
know, hours long courses. Mine
mhm.
is a half hour to decide if you want to commit to going through all that.
Right. Are you sure you really want this? Do you
Yeah, yeah,
realize what you're signing
right.
up for? You
And
know,
some people, the answer is hell yes. Fine.
do
Yeah.
you get any questions from your viewers about like, well, why do we need VBA if there's Power Query now? Because there's a lot of like VBA versus Power Query smackdown conversations that I see
Right.
online.
I haven't gotten that from my students there. I've been in part of those conversations. Yeah. And I always go back to context and what are you
Yeah,
trying to do?
yeah. I want to, there were some models that I developed this year where I was really excited to implement Power Query solutions, but there's still some nuances that are just better with VBA.
Sure.
I'm
Sure.
all about taking the classic with the new and kind of combining them in an Excel hash sort of way, because it's context, and it's like, why struggle with one thing when the other tool is already there? And I don't care if people make fun of me for being into VBA.
No, it's not that. It's what you're
Hashtag
trying to do and who are you doing it for? Are
right,
you trying to build a solution for some VBA snob? Probably not.
right, right.
But I did show when I didn't go through and show how this is done, but in one of my introductions in that course, I say one reason to use VBA is for things that Excel just cannot do.
Right.
Um, like an example where I had this this information in a bunch of cells, and the stuff I needed was bold, and it was not in the same place in
Mm-hmm.
all of the cells. It was always moved around, but I knew what I needed was bold. Power Query kills all that stuff,
Yeah.
and there's no way of peeling that out in with formulas. That's a VBA need.
Right. I'm with you.
Thank you for that, Oz.
Yep.
So, Sylvia, I want to push it over to you if there's anything you want to share about what's coming up in your life in the near future.
Well, I mentioned the article. I've just been kind of busy with project work. I'm happy to say there's a booming business for developing data models, and even in quarantine life. I'm involved with a startup in the medical technology field. So hopefully with the with a little bit more investor commitment, which we're still working on, I might quit my day job. So that's
Wow.
TBD, but it's a good business plan and it's a good time to get into the business, you know, particularly with talk about vaccine distributions and whatnot. There's a lot of work to do in that field. And I actually did some interesting projects last year, getting into Power BI. I've been doing a bit of that as well. Transportation dashboards, you know, what happens, how do you transport something from point A to point B? And, you know, let's calculate the most efficient route and let's try to identify bottlenecks. And so that was fun and exploratory with Power BI because it hasn't been my core offering until, you know, recently I started playing around with it a bit more. And speaking of things that, you know, Excel can do and, or, you know, VBA can do that Excel can't do. And, you know, I love all the kind of built-in geography stuff that Power BI offers. I'm not sure if Excel data types are the same thing because I haven't gotten into it yet, but I'm just exploring a lot of the new and, you know, merging it with the classic and playing some piano once in a while to get away from the computer
and whatever's over your other shoulder.
Well, you know, because you have to, I've actually started, you know, I've used some of my downtime. I've actually been making my own cocktails, which is something I haven't done since the book was released. And so I've been stocking up on the equipment, made some power pivottinis the other night. That was fun, which is with gin. And gin is very alkaline, so it's good for you. FYI.
All right.
So that's about it.
So right now, by day, you know, I'm a senior leader at a consulting firm, and I'm rolling out my first Power BI project. Now, usually there's an executive level and there's people who actually do the work. Like I got to do the work, and so I'm actually having to learn this stuff, right?
Wow.
So right now for a major university, I can't say they're middle school. So I'm building dashboards and reports in Power BI, which means I got to learn it, which means eventually it's going to Excel TV, which is great. But also I want to share with you some of what we've been talking about. Let's see if I can figure out how to share. There's oh, there we go. Share screen. Start back up at the top. Okay, so we're at the Global Excel Summit. It's globalexcelsummit.com. So if you go to it, you'll see a number of people here on the top. You'll see Oz, of course. You'll see Jordan. You'll see a number of people who, even Chandu, a number of people who have been on Excel.tv. So I'd like to recommend that all of you come here and check it out. This is going to happen over the weekend, February 6th to 9th. Just come on over and check it out. So there's another place that we're talking about that as well. Over at Excel.tv, you go over to the blog area.
Wow, not messing around
it's
there.
Greater than life size.
Handsome good right there. So we've had a few interviews in the last few weeks with people who are involved in the Global Excel Summit, to include Randy Austin, who is one of the ambassadors there, and as well Oz, who's part of this video, and others. But we also have a coupon code for you. If you go in and you type in excel.tv, tag 15%, right there, you get 15% off of joining there. So again, February 6th to 9th, we hope to see you all there. I know Oz will be there, and a lot of other Excel experts will be there as well. Excel TP will be at the Global Excel Summit, not only as the lead media partner, but also as an exhibitor. So we're looking forward to seeing you all there. I'll be manning the booth there. So looking forward to seeing you all there. Until next time, for Oz du Soleil, Sylvia Uhas, this is Rick Rantham. reminding you to keep on excelling.
That's
We'll see you next
right. All right.